Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever I do be finding you today. Welcome back to my Chanel, and welcome back to Am I the Ex? Without further ado, let's just get into it, shall we? This one caught my attention. This was posted on r/profile titled, "My almost aborted baby was born and now I might be a single dad," which was cross-posted onto Am I the Ex? Titled, "She moved to a different state." That's it. Just zooming in a little. The problem with having no eyes. This is a freshly made throwaway account, as I have friends on my actual account. I, 26 male, recently had a baby with my GF Rebecca, fake name, 22 female. She wanted to get an abortion and I told her absolutely not. Immediately, red flag, her body, her choice, not yours, you know. And how I'd break up with her and kick her out of my apartment as my name is on the lease, as well as me paying most of the bills. Okay, so he's like trapped her basically. Okay, red flag number two. To give more backstory, we met at a restaurant where she was a server there. It's been 2 weeks since our daughter was born. Okay, wow, that one sentence gave us all the backstory. During the delivery, she was screaming about how she wanted the baby to come out already, which honestly seemed reasonable because I hear how painful birth can be. Wow, a cis man knows how painful birth can be. Wow. After the birth of our daughter, she absolutely refused to hold her in the hospital because she didn't want her. You baby trapped her. She didn't touch our daughter unless it was to feed or change her. She and our baby had to stay in the hospital for a few weeks before being discharged. After that, she still refused to hold her unless it was necessary, like feeding, changing, or putting her to bed. Otherwise, she'd give her to me and tell me to take care of our daughter's crying, because you were the one who wanted her. Okay, she didn't want this child. I think to her, looking at this kid is reminding her of what she didn't want. Don't know what got into her, but she's acting different. She used to be bubbly and full of life, and now she's acting so distant and moody, so I started going through her phone to give some type of reason as to why. I looked through her search history and saw that she was looking up apartments in a different state, so I assumed she wanted us to move. There's no us, darling. I didn't think much of it, as her childhood friend Anna lives in that state as well as her parents. Now here's the current situation. I woke up the other day to find the house nearly empty. Only things that were here was my stuff, the baby stuff, and our daughter. Right, it's looking him in the face, it's staring right at him, right? And he's like, this guy needs instructions written down. This guy is why shampoo has instructions. Everything of Rebecca's was gone. She left. Just add one and one. Her car was gone. Even her essentials were gone. I tried calling multiple times and it went straight to voicemail. I looked around and picked up our daughter and noticed something taped to her crib. It was a note she left for me. If you're reading this, his name, I'm gone. I moved towards my home city. I moved back to my home city. I'll be staying with my parents until I am approved for this apartment. I told you I didn't want a kid, and you threatened to kick me out. So I gave you what you wanted. This formula in the cabinet. I hope you and your daughter live a good life without me, as I wanted nothing to do with her. I can't believe she had to write it out for him. This guy literally needed a full-on explanation because his fanfic perfect life got blown up. You can't just. This is what happens when people in leadership saying that, oh, her body, your choice, blah, blah, blah. This is what happens. This is the reality because it's her body, her choice. You don't get a choice over women's bodies or bodily autonomy, okay? She gets the last say over her body. You did nothing but two measly, pathetic little pumps to contribute to that baby, okay? The woman gets the say. This is too much for me, as I wouldn't be the mother she needed. I am willing to sign away my rights completely as long as I don't have to be involved at all. I hope you see this as an act of kindness, and as I don't think it would be good for her. I will still love you, but we're done. And that's for the best. That's the rest of the letter. I still cry while reading this. There's nothing else I wanted but our family to stay together, but now she's abandoning us. She didn't want a family. He keeps saying our family. knowing that this woman didn't want a baby. I like the use of your baby in the letter that she wrote. I'll have to ask my parents to watch her while I'm at work, and I'll have to take time off, but I can't afford that. Is there any advice I can get? Any chance to possibly bring her home? He should have thought of this before forcing a woman to carry a child she didn't want. I think there's something seriously wrong with her. You got the character wrong, babe. There's something seriously wrong with you. This woman just knows what she wants. Maybe postpartum. My guy is blaming postpartum depression. That makes me angry. I ain't even a woman, and this is making me angry. I can't imagine any women seeing this would be any happier to hear a man saying, she left her baby because of postpartum depression, not the fact that I threatened to kick her out and threatened to leave her with no money. That's making her act irrational. What can I do to fix this? I think my daughter has sensed her mother is gone, and she's crying a lot more and is sometimes refusing help. Maybe it's because you're a shit parent. She was breastfed to give context. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to go from breast to bottle, but maybe you're just a shit parent. I just need help and advice on what to do. Do I report her missing? She's not missing though. She gave you a letter, so you'll be doing a false report. Edit. So unfortunately, people think I'm a rage bait account. I apologize if you think that way, but no. This is a genuine situation that I'm in, and I asked for advice as I don't know what to do to answer some questions. Okay. People thinking it could be rage bait, valid, but also this is the reality of the world we live in because of people like Andrew Tate and Ben Shapiro and people who also spout the nonsense of her body, my choice, or your body, my choice. That's never, ever, ever right to say. And the people spouting that nonsense are producing this. Men who think that they can tell a woman what to do. If a man tells you what to do, walk away. Pepper spray is illegal, but powerful food coloring mixed with water isn't. Just saying. So next time a man tells you that he has control over your bodily autonomy, food coloring stains. He's answering the questions. Did you coerce her into getting pregnant? No, I didn't. I did not, at least in my eyes. At least in my eyes. I gave her a choice of us breaking up because clearly, if she was going to abort our daughter, then we don't need to be together. I didn't force her to be pregnant. I just gave her an ultimatum of be homeless because I'm sorry, in America, I'm assuming waitresses don't earn enough. You live off tips in America. You don't get a wage like normal countries have. No shade, all the shade. I think your salary is like less than $3, whereas everywhere else you have like a living wage. In the UK, the living wage for servers is minimum wage, which is £12.21. That does not include tips because we don't really tip, but even if we did, you keep it. We don't have to starve our workers to force people to tip. But also, back to the story, threatening her livelihood, her housing, her relationship over a pregnancy seems kind of forceful. Did she want to break up? To my knowledge, before she left, no. Why would she not want to stay together if she didn't murder our daughter in the... It's not murder because it's not born. Until there's a heartbeat, it's not murder. Because I'm pretty sure until there's a heartbeat, you can have an abortion. Once there's a heartbeat, you're legally not allowed to have an abortion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but up until that point, you're allowed to have an abortion. So it's not really murder. Is he going to say that a miscarriage is murder? Is he going to say that a period is murder? I bet this guy eats meat. It makes me no sense. Earthquake. Of course, my guy can't type. If she didn't want to be with me, she would have left and got an abortion. Let's actually use our brains, please. She wanted to leave you, she just had no choice. Maybe she was saving for an apartment. Maybe she was getting a better job. Maybe she was trying to find a safe way out. You threatened her housing there and then. Why would you report her missing? I thought of it as an option, as she wasn't responding to any of my calls or texts, and leaving out of the blue isn't like her. As I said, I believe she's having postpartum depression. Fuck you. Also, you know where she is, so she's not missing. You'll be wasting police time and people's, like, I don't know how it is elsewhere, but um, tax where I am pays for the police. It pays for everything else like that, but it also pays for the police. Hence why you don't have to pay for the police. So he's going to be wasting tax money. He's going to be wasting police time over a false report. Why did you go through her phone? Because I was concerned if anything was wrong with her. I wouldn't go through her phone because I didn't trust her. Even then, we used to regularly go through each other's phones out of habit. I don't mean in a toxic way. I mean like photos and random texts with parents or seeing what we've added to our wish list type of looking. Did she get to go through your phone? We trusted each other like that. We didn't care about each other going through our phones, as it wasn't a breach of trust. Okay, like, there's a difference between knowing your partner's password and constantly going through each other's phones and checking. If you trust your partner, you don't feel the need to go through their phone. You'll just ask them what's up. Obviously, if you trust your partner, you'll also trust them with your password. Because what are they going to do? Find your pee-pee pics? Are you going to take care of your daughter? Yes, but it will take a babysitter while I work. He will take her to a babysitter. I'll have to explain to my boss that I need to transfer to home-based work in the meantime. I'm sorry, but not really your boss's problem, is it, that you forced a woman to carry a baby that she didn't want because you threatened her livelihood and her housing and her finances and then tried to play the victim? To anyone who thinks abortion is murder, do you eat meat? Because if you do, hypocritical as fuck. Just saying. Do you wash your hands? Because you're killing bacteria. That bacteria could, create life. Do you eat vegetables? I was once breathing out oxygen for us to breathe. Do you kill spiders? Do you squat flies? Do you mosquitoes? You know, just saying. There's all these things you're doing that's murder as well, just saying. Abortion is healthcare. Women die in childbirth. Also, people who are assigned female at birth physically cannot go through, some people can, but some physically cannot go through pregnancy and birthing without wanting to themselves because of the dysphoria. And before you say, why did they get pregnant? Contraception doesn't work, protection doesn't work all of the time. Also, men don't take no. Not that you need to be raped to have an abortion. You can just want an abortion because, accidents happen. Look at me, I'm here. Access to abortions is a right. It's healthcare, it saves lives, okay? Plus, I bet you didn't know this. When the zygote is just a clump of cells, it has the most stem cells for stem cell research that can save lives for so many other people who are dealing with painful, life-threatening conditions. That zygote that could kill someone during childbirth could save many, many people's lives in later life. So, killing this embryo is saving so many people's lives. And even then, your body, your like cells, your skin cells, your blood cells die and eat itself over and over again every single second, every single day, every single minute. Is that murder too? Because it's the same thing. Is period murder? Like, is masturbation murder? Just saying, it's something to think about when you call abortion murder when it's, not, because you do so many more things in your everyday life that could be considered murder if that's the route you want to go about. Just saying. Women's bodies, women's choices, okay? Your body, your choice forever, bitches. If this is real, I'm so thankful he was too dumb to realize she was planning her escape. Yeah, you know what? That's the thing. Like I read a story before about this man who was like cheating on his partner, and he was like, "She's planning us a getaway together because I deserve it," and then she was just moving out. Men, there's a reason women live longer, and it's because they are smarter than us. Okay, just rub the two brain cells together, and they might make a third. Okay, and then that might make a fourth. I can't believe he came to the point where he threatened to kick her out if she did get an abortion, and then had the audacity to say, "I don't know what got into her. She's acting differently. If I got blackmailed into keeping an unwanted child, I'd be distant and moody too." Yeah, it's blackmail. This is the only mail we don't want to receive. That and taxes. Someone's suspicious about how noisy it is to pack everything. She could be packing whilst he's like at work, but also I have packed whilst people are sleeping. It's quite easy. You just gotta be delicate. Plus, some people are just really heavy sleepers. I'm hoping it's rage bait. I really am. This is why you don't date pro-lifers. I bet any pro-lifer you meet would say like all queers and they own a gun, so they're not really pro-life. They're just pro-torture. People are thinking it's rage bait, and I do hope so. Because if this person exists, holy, I don't want to live in a society with this man. Maybe his abortion was postponed. Don't take that seriously, YouTube. I'm just mad. What is it with these one-story videos? Holy damn. Thank you for joining me on this disaster. It's cold outside, by the way. Do you like my blanket? It's kissy missy. But yeah. Hopefully I shall see you in the next video. And comment anything down below. Comment your favorite pizza flavor, and I'll give you a love heart. Comment your favorite fanfiction, and I'll read it in a seductive tone for my next video. See you next time.